One of these days, one of these days, I will get it right. But we're not there yet. So until then, you're going to live with this. Here we go. All right. Sound fun? There we go. All right. Let's start it from the top.
Another Monday Night Raw, in the ring they clash. SmackDown Friday night, body slam with the crash. The casual guy talking, don't let it pass. He spits the truth in the wrestling podcast bash. From the top ropes they dive for the belt defense. Blood, sweat, and tears, they reap what they spend. In the square circle, live, twist, and then listen to the tales, the casual guy's intent. From the top ropes, they dive for the belt that bends. Blood, sweat, and tears, they reap what they spend. In the squared circle, live, life, twist, and then listen to the tales, the casual guy's intent. Tune in to now, hear the Raw Show, WrestleMania, wrestling wait for it. Heroes fall, villains rise, they dance the violent dance. Chairs, tables, ladders, stakes, the audience in a trance. Casual guy breaks it down chance by chance. He peels back the curtain, gives secrets a glance. Podcast waves reverberate like a count. Each move, each fight, not just for the clout. Standing tall in chaos, what it's all about. The casual guy tells it raw, no doubt. Crunching battles, unending tales, flashing lights, roaring crowd, no trumped up sales. Beyond the scripted saga, reality prevails. In the casual guy's realm, the truth never fails. Waves reverberate like a count. Each move, each fight, not just for the clout. Standing tall in chaos, what it's all about. The casual guy tells it raw, no doubt. Casual guy tells it raw, no doubt. Casual guy tells it raw, no doubt. Crunching battles and unending tales, flashing lights, roaring crowd, no trumped up sales. Beyond the scripted saga, reality prevails. In the casual guy's realm, the truth never fails.
Booyah! All right, cool. Well, welcome back. Welcome back to myself more than anything. Jeez Louise. Oh, how you doing out there, y'all? It's been a minute. I apologize for that. I've been really busy with a lot of work, and life in general has been crazy. My kids have started up soccer, so that's consuming some time there. We also went out of town this past week, and so I've been sort of MIA for the last 2 weeks on every show, all that stuff. So it's good to be back. That being said, and we do have a lot to catch up on. I'm just going to start with maybe the most recent week of stuff and sort of get into that. I might not hit everything. We got a few people watching live, which is so cool. And, if you're in the chat or whatever, like throw it out there. We got the chat open. So I'll keep that up there. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. If you caught the drop on Brian's show, King's Court on Friday, we talked about some of this stuff, but I'd love to get a little more in depth with it. I guess I will go ahead and start off with Drew versus CM Punk once again here at Bad Blood. Of course, these two are going to square off at Bad Blood because there's a lot of bad blood there. And they've been carrying this bad blood for, I don't know, 6 months, maybe beyond that. And I do feel like this will be sort of like the nail in the coffin between these two. Maybe it's not forever, but maybe it's something that resurfaces later in the future, maybe next year or something like that. But I think once this cage match is said and done at Bad Blood, that this will be the end of it, and we'll sort of move forward from here. Speaking of rehashing rivalries, Sammy and Gunther, there's been building drama between these two in the last couple of weeks, and a lot of it is like Sammy referencing how he beat Gunther for the IC champ, a couple months ago, whatever it was, and that now he wants a shot at the heavyweight championship. And that's great. And I understand where you could make a story out of this. But in my mind, there's no chance that Sammy beats Gunther. I really don't see it at all. I didn't see it when Sammy beat Gunther for the IC champ, but I understand why they made that move in order for Gunther to clear up that belt and start pursuing the heavyweight championships, which he absolutely belongs in. So I get it. I get that they keep running that storyline. And something that I was thinking about too is that the last month or so, maybe 2 months, they've spent a lot of time in Canada. And who does Canada want to see? They want to see Sammy. They want to see KO. So I understand, and Chelsea Green. But so I understand why they're making this match. And I think this is once again just another solidify Gunther as the champion match here. So October 5th, I see Gunther walking away with this one. We talked about the New Day, I believe last time I was on, and they had a match with the Judgment Day on this last Raw. But really, it's I think they needed a little bit of time to reset and figure out where they're going to go with this New Day story with Xavier and Kofi. And are we going to split them up? Is this an opportunity now that there isn't a third member of the New Day? Where do you sort of go from here? And I think they are going to continue along the lines of splitting up New Day, and those guys probably go like a solo route for a little bit. Maybe they team up with someone in the future, but I think for right now, New Day will end up splitting. Maybe it's some sort of match at Bad Blood, and they create their own Bad Blood in turn. So maybe you see some Kofi versus Xavier matches beyond this, but we'll see. The Sheamus versus Pete Dunne stuff, I like it. I think it's great for both of them, and I think probably more so for Pete Dunne. I mean, Sheamus has been around for damn near 20 years, whatever it is. But for a guy like Pete Dunne to have a rivalry with Sheamus, I think that's really good for him and helps push him more as a heel, which they're doing. And Uh, I think this dude has a lot of talent. I think he has a lot to offer, and I like what he's doing also at NXT, kind of getting him in the mix there. And I think WWE is just like, let's get this guy more reps. He hasn't had a ton of reps. And if they're going to make something out of him, he has to get more reps. So he's got to be on NXT. He's got to have this, almost weekly rivalry that they're broadcasting on Raw with Sheamus. So I like the direction that they're going there, and keep it up. Let's see more of that. At the end of the day, I think Sheamus is the one to walk away that beats Pete Dunne, but I think we're in a different era now, and maybe Pete Dunne does walk away with a dub, and I think that might legitimize him a little bit as well. I am so sorry. I had to cough. Bear with me. My allergies are kicking my butt. It's been a rough day. I mowed the lawn a couple days ago, and I think that sort of kick started it. And my allergies have just been running rampant. So I might take a sneeze break here for a minute, or a cough break, or something like that. So I apologize in advance. Then you had the Bronson Reed and the Braun Strowman stuff on Monday, and I like this. I like this a lot. I've spoken about this, but I really like that they're doing some of like the extracurricular activity. It's happening outside of the ring. So these two had, I don't even know if it was a scheduled match or what happened, but they ended up taking it outside of the ring, going outside of the venue. Yes, we have all seen the backstage stuff, and that's great. But these guys are taking it sort of old school attitude era, outside of the entire arena. I think the last time we saw that was Rock and Cody, where Rock, was throwing Cody into buses and bloodying them up. So I like where they're going with this. I think, Bronson Reed is going to end up getting the better of Braun Strowman. And, this is just to legitimize him and get him into the fold with the heavyweight picture here, probably in the near future. So stay tuned. I think, Bronson Reed versus a Gunther would be a really good match in the future. This dude's super athletic. He can pull off moves that dudes his size typically can't. And so it's cool to see him get a little bit of a push, because I feel like he's always sort of been sitting in the back burner a little bit and not really propelled to where he could be. So good on him. Let's see. Talking about last night, they started off the night with LA Knight versus Andrade. Andrade being the winner of that 5-match face-off with Carmelo Hayes, and he ended up getting the better of Carmelo. And this match started out the night for SmackDown, which I think was cool. I think it's great to have a big pop like that with LA Knight. Everyone loves him, and to see him defend the belt first off was great. But after this match started, all I kept thinking to myself is, well, one, I think Andrade never had a chance at winning on this night. But what they're doing is they set us up, right? They had the 3 matches the 5 matches with Andrade and Carmelo Hayes. And then, okay, if Andrade loses, now I think it sets up the window for Carmelo Hayes to say, hey, like, you might have got the best 3 out of 5 on me, but you weren't better against LA Knight. And it creates an argument that he should have a title shot. So it looks like next Friday night, we're going to have Andrade versus Carmelo Hayes 6. I think Carmelo wins this, and I think this sets up, a title shot versus LA Knight at Bad Blood. And I think, they kind of just set up the case for Carmelo to have that title shot. I don't think Carmelo wins by any means. There's no way. I think LA Knight's got to be the longest reigning title holder in the WWE at some point. I could see Cody losing before LA Knight. I could see anybody, Liv, whoever you want to throw in there. I think LA Knight will be one of the longest tenured U.S. champions, and I think that's great. I love that for him. So, but we'll see. We will see. They also announced on Friday night that they're going to be bringing back Saturday Night Main Event. I don't really know what this is going to look like. Is it going to be 1 hour, 2 hours? I think at the minimum, it's got to be 2 hours, right? I think it'll kind of feature more NXT stuff. Like, here's the thing about Saturday television. Nobody's watching anything on TV on Saturdays. The only thing that they might be watching is college football, and that's during the daytime. But Saturday nights, people are going out, they're going to dinners, they're doing stuff like that. Unless you're like me, who's a homebody, I sort of lay low on the weekends, but that's just me. There's not a lot of television on Saturday nights that people are talking about. So I think it's going to be sort of the NXT versus, maybe some of the lower card, main card people. Your people that don't get a lot of airtime on Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown. So I love this. And this once again goes back to my point that we need more belts. We need a cruiserweight. We need the TV champion. I think a TV champion on a Saturday night is a home run. I think that's a great space for them to defend that. And you can parlay that into the other shows as well. So I like the idea. I hope that there's more that comes with this. Now, Saturday Night Main Event is not starting until December, and they're going to kick it off in Jersey, I believe. But that's coming down the pipeline. I think WWE is just totally gearing up for New Year. We're going to sort of add some new stuff. We're going to reset who we are as a brand a little bit. I do think they're going to get a little bit edgier. We're all the shows are on USA. They're going to be on Netflix, and I think it's going to probably stay in that realm. Maybe Fox has a slice of that Saturday Night Main Event stuff, something like that. But we'll see. So excited for that. Who doesn't want more main event cards? So after the LA Knight and Andrade match where LA Knight defended, you had this sort of Cody versus Roman in the middle of Georgia Tech's football field. And so Cody is from Atlanta and Roman played football for Georgia Tech. And so, each of them is claiming that this is their city. Cody said, "This is my home." And I don't know. It was, there was a lot of production behind it. Excuse me. And, it like at the end of the promo, all I thought to myself was, okay, excuse me. Okay. I don't know really how I felt about that promo. Excuse me. Holy cow. I'm having a moment here. Sorry. But you know, the promo was cool. It's cool that it was really like well done and produced and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, like I think the writing was on the wall last week when Roman comes out to help Cody, but they still don't want to be friends. I get it. Um, so they gave us that, and I don't really have a huge takeaway from it. Um, other than what I will get to later when we talk about the bloodline match later in the night. Um, you did have Naomi and Bailey versus Nia and Tiffy uh, in a tornado tag team match, so they couldn't tag anyone. Everyone was active during this match, and the stipulations of that were that whoever gets pinned needs to leave SmackDown. So they're going to go to Raw. And the winner, whoever tags or whoever pins, gets the shot at the belt. So you had a moment where Bailey was pinning Nia, I believe, or and Naomi like rips her off the pin. And they're trying to build a little bit of drama between Naomi and Bailey. But the end of the match, it ends up finishing with Nia getting pinned. And Bailey and Naomi were both sort of covering her. So it looks like next week we're going to have a match between Naomi and Bailey to determine who is going to face Nia Jax at Bad Blood for the title. You once again had a little bit of Tiffy hit the swanton, which was meant for Naomi. She moves out of the way and hits Nia with it rather than Naomi. And so you keep creating these little rifts between Tiffy and Nia. Is Bad Blood where Tiffy cashes in? Kind of feels like now that if Nia is going over to Raw, this is her opportunity. So I think we do end up seeing Tiffy cash in at Bad Blood towards the end of that match or after the completion of that match between, whoever the winner is between Naomi and Bailey. Is it Naomi? I don't think so. I think it's probably Bailey. And I think she'll, get her rematch versus Nia. They'll go the distance. I'm not sure who wins. I think it's probably Nia, and Tiffy cashes in on Nia. I think that adds to the drama. But if Nia is going to Raw, maybe Bailey wins, Tiffy cashes in, wins against Bailey, and now you have a feud there. Okay. I'll take Bailey at Bad Blood to beat Nia with Tiffy cashing in, and they both stay on SmackDown to continue the rivalry. And I think maybe Nia fits in better as a challenger to this title for, it could be Rhea, it could be Liv at Bad Blood, whoever takes the title there, here we go. All right, so if it's Rhea versus Liv, Nia goes to Raw. I think it makes the most sense for Bailey to win at Bad Blood, get the title. Tiffy cashes in. She gets the title. Now you have the rivalry there. Nia goes to Raw. Rhea gets her title back from Liv. And now you have a really believable title challenge with Rhea and Nia. I like that. WWE, are you paying attention? Come on, man. Make me a writer. So I like that. That's a good idea. Not float my own boat, but maybe I am. So going back, KO and DIY in the beginning of the night were set to have a 6-man tag match versus the Bloodline. And so before this match, they try to get KO's reaction a couple times on how he feels about Cody siding with Roman in order to take on the Bloodline. And KO's pissed. I mean, understandably, he has reason to be. He's always defended Cody while he was pursuing Roman's title. And now it's like, what the hell, dude? Like, now you're going to flip and be allies with Roman Reigns? That doesn't make sense. And so, understandably, KO is upset about that. They try to interview him a couple times backstage. He goes, well, if I'm going to talk about it, I'm going to go out to the ring. So KO's pissed. He gets interrupted by Tama Tonga, who finally speaks for the first time, which I think is good. It's good that other people are getting involved in the mic, but that being said, was Tama Tonga's time on the mic great? He starts out with more of that sort of cat chatter before he actually starts speaking, and it's like this. I don't know how to do it, really. All I can say is if you've ever been a cat father or owner, whenever a cat sees like a bird or prey and they get really in tune to it, they start to do this like that sort of noise. And that's exactly what Tama Tonga was doing. He did end up speaking actual words in a language that we understand. And, basically it boiled down to, okay, they ended up rushing the ring. DIY comes out to help KO. There's 3-on-3. And so, it becomes a 6-man tag match to headline the night with KO and DIY versus the Bloodline. Now, as this match started, before it started, DIY gets smoked backstage by the Bloodline, and they're basically ineligible, right? So they 3-rush the ring on KO, who's alone, and then here come the Street Profits. And I think once again, DIY is still in the mix, but I think the Street Profits will end up getting a tag title shot. Maybe it's at Bloodline. Maybe it's next week in OKC, which coincidentally, I will be in OKC next week for SmackDown, making the trip up north. And I will be front row where they sort of, if they enter the ring and go left and go up the stairs, I'm going to be right in that corner-ish. So I'll be on the TV side, I suppose. Are you going to see me? I don't know. We'll see. But I'm really excited for that. Me and my buddy Matt are going. It's going to be a really good time. But so here enters the Street Profits, and they become KO's new tag partners. And I think they're really making a push for Street Profits to be contenders here. I think you will see them. It's hard to say. I don't know if they're going to hold the belt. I think they might take a loss before they actually get it. And I think you might see a DIY versus Bloodline match before you see another Street Profits versus Bloodline tag match. But I think eventually the Street Profits are going to get the belts. I think they deserve it. I think they've pulled off some really cool moves in the last month or so. They've really been able to showcase what they're capable of. So it's cool that they're doing that, and I dig it. So keep it up, Street Profits. I think you guys are in the mix. Eventually the match ends, things get broken up, and it turns into typical Bloodline, just jump everybody, stomp them out, all that sort of stuff. You get left with KO in the ring after the loss. And here comes DIY again to help out KO. After that, Cody ends up coming to the rescue. DIY sort of got tossed to the side. And then here comes Cody to the rescue to help KO like he should. And then, KO and Cody sort of have this moment where they face off and end up shaking hands and like, it's all good. We're still friends and all that stuff. But I think the arc of this storyline is heading towards, is KO really a heel? He's not really a heel because I think he's doing what's right, but he's also coming across as like angry, and Cody's such a face, like he can do no wrong. I think he's starting to shed a little light on like, hey, I'm doing the right thing. Cody's not doing the right thing. Is Cody turning heel anytime soon? No, but I think you need a little bit of drama with Cody's storyline. And he can't always be like the fresh-faced, I'm the nice guy, everybody loves me sort of character. I think you got to evolve a little bit with that. And, Roman Reigns is back, and he might be is he a bigger face than Cody? Maybe not, but everyone is excited for Roman Reigns to be back. And so he sort of has this momentum, at least in my opinion, where he might be a bigger face to beat Cody and take the title back. And maybe he goes more of on a solo thing. I still see Jimmy Uso coming back in some way. I don't know if Jimmy Uso becomes more part of the Terror Twins thing and reunites with Jay, or he reunites with Roman, but it doesn't really make sense for it doesn't make sense for him to just be with Roman, and it's just those two. So it's kind of confusing. Where does Jimmy Uso come back? And whose side is he on? Is he on anyone's side? I don't know. So we'll see. But I'm looking forward to next week. I'll do a recap after Raw. Probably Wednesday. Maybe not Wednesday. Maybe Tuesday is a better night for me. So stay tuned. I'll try and keep you posted on X and But if you have your notifications on Twitch and YouTube, you should be informed. Um, and then really looking forward to next Friday. I'll be on King's Court next Friday as well, doing my usual Friday drop, talking WWE with Rhino and Sacktown. So I'll do that, but I might do a couple lives like straight from OKC and Friday Night SmackDown. Really looking forward to that. It should be a good time. So thank you all for tuning in, and we will catch up next week. And I'm just trying to find the music. Oh man. Well, this is what happens when you've been out of the game for a little bit. Regular cadence once again. And we'll do the damn thing. Here we go.